Welcome to Agenda Edina, a news program summarizing the actions taken at City Hall that affect you most. I'm your host, Dorothea Marty. The work of Edina's Race and Equity Task Force and its working groups will be facilitated by the Citizens League. The task force was created earlier this year to identify race-based disparities in Edina's city government facilities, services, and institutions. They will then propose remedies to the city government policies and operating practices that are creating disparities. Facilitators will work directly with members of the Race and Equity Task Force and report to City Manager Scott Neal.
What's special about us is our ability to bring a wide variety of perspectives to the table, make sure that people are heard, make sure that people sort of come to agreement on what they think is important and then what we're going to do about it. And all of these issues are true on the question that the City of Edina is wanting to look at. How do we ensure that everyone in Edina feels, a part of the community and belonging in that community?
The Citizens League was selected from 4 firms that expressed interest in the project. Work is underway. The Heritage Preservation Commission recently awarded Nancy A. Johnson and Paul Anton the 2017 Heritage Award for their home on Mirror Lake Drive. Edina TV's Don Wills has more on this home and how it will represent a piece of Edina history.
From the street, it's a modest home nestled in a wooded lot. However, Nancy A. Johnson and Paul Anton knew it was special.
It's definitely a unique home, and obviously somebody put a lot of thought into the design of it as well as the function of it. It wraps around the hill, there's great cross ventilation, it's a very open, spacious feel. And I think in Minnesota, when you're inside a good chunk of the year, that's especially important.
Johnson and Anton were committed to preserving the historic character of their mid-century modern home.
It was very important to us to leave the exterior of the house.
They spent months planning their home improvements while keeping the integrity of the house.
So we definitely wanted to preserve it, but we also saw the need to make it livable. We also saw some ways that we thought we could go back to the original style of the period and spruce that up.
The love Johnson and Anton have for their home is so evident that the Heritage Preservation Commission recognized them for preserving a part of Edina history.
They embraced the story of their home. When they purchased the home, they did their research. They found out that there was a renowned architect who designed it in 1951, and when they were planning the changes, they looked into the design style of Robert Cerny, and their changes really reflect Cerny's design style.
Well, we're very proud, and we also are very pleased to see a home of this era get the attention. I want Edinans to know that there are some great examples of this style of architecture in the town.
Of course, we did all this just because we loved the house.
In Edina, Don Wills, Edina TV.
The City of Edina's Heritage Award is given annually to individuals or organizations that have made an outstanding contribution to the preservation, rehabilitation, restoration, and use of Edina's heritage resources. The city hopes to begin construction of 2 new pedestrian bridges at Centennial Lakes Park in September. The 2 single-span steel arch pedestrian bridges are structurally sound but are in need of substantial repairs to address deterioration. Since repairs would not address ADA compliance or the steepness of the stairs, it was determined that the bridges should be replaced.
But the biggest drawback to these bridges is they present a real barrier to a number of the park patrons. They're very steep, obviously not accessible, and so the new bridges will be ramped, totally accessible for strollers, wheelchairs, even just people that have trouble going up and down stairs in general.
Earlier this month, the City Council approved the design of the new bridges, which will be 16 feet wide, 7 feet wider than the existing ones. Each bridge will have bump outs along the full span to accommodate people who want to stay on the bridges without disrupting foot traffic. The bridge facing will be covered in Chilton stacked stone. Ornamental steel beams inset with LED lights will adorn the bottom side of the bridges as a nod to the current structures. Single pole bell lights, identical to those used throughout the park, will be placed on each bridge abutment. Also, new landscaping, boulders, and park benches will be added to the new pathways and approaches.
We wanted these bridges to blend into the existing park environment. So we wanted to have them look like they've been here all along.
The project will go out for bid in June. If a bid is approved, construction will begin after the Fall into the Arts Festival and be complete by December 1st. Landscaping will be complete next spring. Thanks for watching this episode of Agenda Edina. I'm your host, Dorothea Marty.